Alright everybody, I think this time I'm going to do something a little bit different compared to what I normally do. Kind of share with you a little bit of my story and, to be honestly, my story with this car here. This is a 69 Camaro, but it's not just any ordinary Camaro. This was actually going to be my very first car. So what's really unique about it is, honestly, when I was a very small child, I actually played in this car as a probably like 6-7 years old, to the point where my dad would get to almost yelling at me, telling me to get out of the car, stop playing with it. But what's even more wild about it is how rough the car was. I had no idea in a million years what the car was because it was so rusty. I mean, no joke, on the back quarters there was rust that you could peel off that looked like they were under a house, a 100-year-old house with cast iron pipes. And that's part of the reasons why this thing's gone through a couple renditions, to be honest with you. Y'all have seen in the past where at one point it was actually really pretty, where I had sandblasted it, painted it, it looked really good. But the problem was, there's places I just couldn't get, like inside the body panels, inside the quarters, inside the back, underneath the package tray. The car still had rust in it, and it's just, you couldn't really clean it without pulling the quarters off. So it's got brand new AMD full quarters on the car. I've sandblasted the trunk, the floor, the inside of the package tray, the inside of the doors, any and everywhere I could. Right now, majority of it's in epoxy. Down here inside the doors, I still need to spray something. I'll probably do bed liner. Same thing, lower quarters. So the car has gone through a lot. So it was going to be my first car. Dad passed. I had to buy it from his estate. And slowly over the last few years, I've been putting it back together. And then what I always wanted to do is make this car something really unique, because it's going to be my first car. Now, I'll be honest, what I think I've ended up deciding to do with the car, kind of changing plans, because a lot of people know it's got a really hot small block 350 in the car. But it is an X44. It's a paint code 53. It's a 715 interior, so it's glacier blue interior car. And what I want to do is make a Copo clone. So what's more unique with this, O2B is perfect transition time between them pre-Xcode cars or the big block cars, what an X66 code for some of the early Copos, where they would start to use an X44, so it fits that perfectly. And I'll be honest, I've got a bunch of parts now kind of to help put that together. So things that have got to be done is I got to pull the motor and trans. It's got a turbo 350 in it right now with a 350. It's a 4-bolt main, aluminum heads. I mean, it's a good running motor, but honestly, the last time that I put it together, it's so aggressive now, I don't think it'd make us as a fun driver. So what I've got is a bunch of stuff that's really close to date right for it. This is a December 69 163 intake. So this is a BV deep groove water pump pulley. And then what's underneath of this is a set of square port closed chamber heads that have already been gone through for this car. So I've also managed to pick up a rear end. I don't know if it's real or not. It is a BE coated 12 bolt. I don't really care. It's going under the car anyway. But I am going to take the crazy gears out of it right now, and I'm going to put a 342 or 355 in the car gear. And let me show you why. I just put these Tri-Plus fenders on it. They fit okay. It's been a lot of work. I've probably got 4 or 5 hours now in fitting them, trying to get the gaps where they look somewhat decent before it goes out and gets the paint and bodywork stuff done to it. So what I have here is it's a 204R transmission. Harry actually done this for me before he passed away. So my game plan is to go ahead and put it in the car. It's got supposedly a lot of billet stuff. I think he said it was the input shaft. He's got an upgraded shell in the car, in the transmission. It's got more stuff done to it than any of the other automatic transmissions I've ever built. And what he said, he built this to put behind a 3/4 ton truck. But I have different plans now for the C20. So game plan is to use that behind a 427 in this car, that 12-bolt rear end, the multi-leaf rear springs in it, and to merely make a good driver out of it. Now, the car only has a few places left to fix, as you see up here in the rear window channel, and I've got the replacement panels there. So I need to cut that out, trim it up, put it in there. There are some holes still in the floorboard over there. I got to weld them up. They're getting kind of hard to see it, but you can see them right there underneath the alternator. And that is what's really crazy. You'll see it's a deep groove pulley. That is an 837 alternator. I still got to fix some of the stuff with the transmission tunnel. My goal is, if I can build the car where I take it to a car show and people cannot figure out that it's not a real Copo, is my game plan. But we got that 837. So hopefully that'll work. We got manifolds for it. I want to put the exhaust manifolds back on it. I got a bunch of parts in the car for it. Brand new grille. And I am going to do it back Glacier Blue. And I am going to do it with the silver grille. And then one of the key components of the car. Well, actually, I got a few things over here I'll show you. So we got brand new 30 over. These are lower compression. Once again, I don't really care about making a ton of power with this as much as I do having it run on pump gas. And then we have a 512 block, which the block is questionably as close, but it's still okay. You ain't like you see this in the car. So that is a B69. So it's a February 69. It's like B4. So it's the 4th day in February of 69. So probably too close date for the car, but who cares? We'll put a 427 in it, rectangle port heads, rectangle port intake. I'm going to try to put as much of it as close as possible to the way it should be, except for, once again, transmission. And I'll play with the compression just so it's more pump gas friendly. So we got roller rockers. I've got a bunch of parts over here for it. I got brand new hydraulic roller lifters. I got a brand new hydraulic roller cam. So I got to take it to the machine shop, have them re-clean it up, and get this thing ready to put together. So please stay tuned. There's a lot more coming for that car. Hopefully, honestly, in the next 6 months, I hope it's sent off to paint. So you'll see it Glacier Blue. We'll do the disc brake swap. We got to put 12-bolt rear end under it. I need to replace all the bushings on the front end. You'll see that. We'll do all the upper, lower control arms. I want this thing to look stock. I got to find a curved neck radiator or a good replacement for one. We got to put the big block heater core and all in the car. And from what I tell, I think I can just drill that. I got a couple of their cores I can use as templates. And I've got brand new... AMD makes a whole kit to put a big block in this car. And it's somewhere in here. I think it's over there. But it comes with the motor mount stands. It comes with all the brackets to hook the alternator and all up. Power steering pump. So my game plan is to put all that in this car. So the story for this car, it's still going. You're going to see a lot of stuff to do with it. And I really want to make it something pretty unique. I think it's pretty cool that I have a car that not only did I play in it as a child, I didn't think after Dad passed away there was any way I was going to end up with the car, but I ended up with it. And it's slowly coming together, from sandblasting to painting to having it really pretty to I didn't like the single stage paint enough to we're doing it one more time. Going through, doing all the body work, sheet metal stuff. Hopefully you will see it done very shortly.